us now on the show. Sanjiv, good morning. This time I'm joining you from your neighborhood in Noida. Pretty cold out here. Wondering how you manage every day in the morning. Market is also getting slightly, cold. Is it like a temporary thing? You see some more consolidation slash sideways action for a few days before it picks up?
गुड मॉर्निंग अजय जी आप तो लखनऊ से हो और दिल्ली में तो देयर वाज 3 degrees फॉर डेज अभी तो इट्स स्टिल 10-12 degrees so you've seen the worst of the cold just like the markets. It is about time you smelt the coffee. ONGC, IOC, SBI all at new highs. Who's complaining? And yes, the dumb money is now selling the large cap private banks, which were the most sought after, and getting into PSU. So time to be contrarian. I think private banks are in a very sweet spot. 2.5 time price to book. You will not get HDFC Bank maybe in a lifetime. But yes, there is consolidation. There is stock specific action, and the reasons will be aplenty. Now the S&P is at a new high. The Japanese index is at a 35-year high. So yes, a small correction is in the offing, but I think more or less is played out. Now, whether you blame that the RBI didn't do anything, the RBI status quo, he's being cautious, and he has been cautious because he's not going to be in line with what the US does. That, his credibility is more important. So I think everything is in place. Earnings, macros, micro, all seem to be in a sweet spot. This is the time to be selective in your stock pickings. Plus, Ajay, China is now closed for lunar holidays for another 10 days. So I think a very good time for metals, specialty chemical names, because prices should start to see rise there. And these are two sectors which have underperformed. So be selective in your stock mix, but please be there. Do your SIP, get into good stocks, and keep watching as the markets tend to go consolidate and go higher, I think in the next 2 weeks.
That's a brilliant point you make. You're making a point that market could be sideways for some time, but do come out of the PSU which are getting overbought and get into the private space, especially private banks which have not done well. That's a very interesting angle. I also want your opinion on Zomato at 145. Solid numbers. You've been speaking about it since pretty much lower levels. What to do now? Is it time to book out of Zomato for now or hold on to them?
Well, Zomato, PB Fintech, and Paytm are have been three of our top picks. And unfortunately, Paytm, the imbroglio has hurt us also. But maybe PB Fintech and Zomato have made up for that. We are in no hurry to sell Zomato, and we are a slightly longer term view. This is just one quarter, Ajay, but it tells you that all the fintech plays which have lasted the times of COVID are now here to make money. And we are aware of our simple, daily habits which are changing, which are getting more technology driven, more friendly to user capacity. And Zomato is the best place because you have to eat twice in a day. And I think that is going to continue. They've shown very strong margins. They've shown strong consolidation in their undercutting in their expenses. And we continue to be overweight this. Look for corrections to get in, but this stock is headed higher.
Right, Mr. Bhasin, this is Vinny joining in the conversation as well. Good morning. And, another stock I want to know about is ITC because, that one, yes, did fall on the comments that came in from BAT, but that is not something that is not known. So what's your view on ITC? Would you still hold ITC?
Yeah, good morning, Vinny. So ITC has underperformed after hitting that 500 because they're disappointed by divesting part of their hotel business, whereas people were looking to do with their cigarette business. Now there will be this, referrals over talks, but but I think ITC may be just over here. It will not do much, given that there will be uncertainty on the BAT stake, just like it was when UTI was one of the big holders and they sold out. I think you will have to see more consolidation on the numbers, more language from the, because if BAT moves out, then the demerger of the cigarette business will also be an added advantage. So you will have to wait for more color on the, on the communication which comes through from the management. Anything to do with the, demerger of the cigarette business will re-rate this stock. So we are slightly underweight. We think Britannia and Nestle are two stocks which we will be overweight in the FMCG basket. ITC for now is an avoid. We are very, very positive on Britannia and Nestle, given that rural incomes are picking up and Britannia's foray over there is only going to gather steam.
Sure, point taken. But before I move forward, just wanted to highlight a few big buzzes from yesterday, and they were from the insurance space, Mr. Bhasin. Right from a New India Assurance to a GIC, LIC, of course, ahead of its earnings was mighty excited, and then earnings lived up to the expectation as well. What's your view on insurance at the moment?
Good morning, Anisha. Please mention PSU. Anything to do with PSU is going through the roof. GIC, New India Insurance, LIC, who thought that these prices will be there even 3 months back? So under ownership, pessimism, and the much touted, we will not touch PSUs playing out perfectly for the PMSs. I think there is steam there on the upside, but insurance as a space, look, I'll tell you 5 intermediaries which are not there for the next 6 months or 6 years, but the next 30 years. Insurance, brokers, depositories, exchanges, and AMCs. These businesses are going to be keep laughing their way to the bank. Whenever you get opportunities, get into them. LIC is now a no-brainer given the numbers are the strongest. And I said this on record that now LIC, since it's a listed stock, there will be a lot of internal, whereabouts about their awareness of how they have to be, more market friendly and so on. And that is proved. When you have Adani and the PSUs performing like the way they have, then obviously LIC will be the biggest, will take home the largest cake. And I think that there was so much of pessimism which is overdone. However, I still think the private insurers, that is SBI Life, ICICI Pru and HDFC Life, they should be also in your portfolio in this correction.
Clearly, I mean, in fact, not only, LIC stock is doing so well. First is crossed the 1,000 rupee mark. Then 1,100 also got crossed. That it found mention even in the parliament by Mr. Modi, hailing that the company is doing well, and look at how the stock is heading to record highs. So LIC is in focus. I also want to pick up SBI. Well, it did not move entirely on the result day, but following 2 days, look at how SBI is gaining and smartly almost 700. It went above the 700 mark yesterday, good 7%, 8% gains coming in. And now the buzz of GQG, Rajiv Jain also nibbling in as far as SBI goes. What's your own target, the next target for SBI, Sanjiv?
I think you can be rest assured that SBI has just started its leg. And like I said, the advent of Canara Bank, PNB and Bank of Baroda outperforming SBI was telling you that SBI will be the next one. It's a large cap, but I still think on a price, on a multiple, if there has to be a re-rating, then 850 could easily be there on SBI. But like I said, Ajay, now there are no free lunches, in the sense these are stocks which have also rallied a lot. And some of the private bankers which came out with very, very decent numbers agreed that the deposit franchise is going to be a little low. But, the type of credit they expand, the type of books they are having, the type of NPA, low NPAs and asset quality, I still think some of the private banks are worth looking at, particularly HDFC Bank, where I think most of the pessimism is now being replaced. But SBI is headed to 850.
Okay, yes, LIC was of course one of those big result reactions, though SBI was not. It has seen a good move, and Mr. Bhasin believes that it is likely to continue that move. But talking
you on your call, India Bull Real Estate. About 4 days back at 100 or thereabout, you spoke about that stock, saying that the worst could be over. It has seen a lot of value damage in the last 2 years, and you categorically called it out at 100. Look, pull up India Bull Real Estate, almost sitting at 122, 123 rupees. What would you advise now? Book some profit or hold on to it?
Yes, Ajay, thank you. 100, 95, 99. I told you this is headed to 125 first and 150 second. On 12th, there is the court judgment, with the court will give the approval for the merger with embassy. And like I told you, even penny stocks like Parsavnath and Unitech are now 5,000 crore market cap or little less than that. And here India Bull, which is the largest land bank owner both in Maharashtra and in Delhi, one of the largest, has a market cap of just 6,000 crore. Given that they have a pedigree inventory and most of the damage is done, there's a new management and the new there will be an open offer, I think, as the demerger takes place. I still think this is one of the best reality plays. And if you have a longer term horizon, who knows, this could be a doubler. But as I said, Ajay, it's congratulations to ET viewers. See, we work for the investor. When we are giving recommendation, our main criteria is the investor makes money. And 95, 99 in a 10 days has become 120. Ajay, I would also like to specify 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550. Finally, yesterday, SW Solar hit 650. I gave you a target of 650, 675. It has doubled. Now, if you have to take profit, take it. But remember, you have to watch ET now and make money over a time. I still think SW Solar is good for 850. My third pick 2 days back was Parag Milk. I gave it at 210, 220. As a disclosure, these stocks could be in our client's portfolio. The stock hit 255 on excellent earnings. I think over the next few months, this can be a stock which can cross 300.
Correct. Just before the results, you spoke about it, and the stock did very well after the result for 2 days in a row. Nuresh, I want to discuss Tata Power with you. It closed about...
And earnings as well have been backing that, whether it's an Orchid Pharma or even a Lupin and Cipla for that matter. What's your top pick now, within Pharma now?
So, Anisha, first a word on Tata Power. At 200, we stuck our neck out when most FIs were downgrading the stock. That price to earning and the multiple of receivables, it was a no-brainer. The type of management, the type of perception, Tata Power in running the utilities business and the EV transition. I think, never ever follow blindly some of the big names because you will miss out the woods for the trees. In 4 months, this stock has more than doubled and a large cap stock. I'm not taking credit for that. All I'm saying is pessimism, greed and fear run hand in hand. And that is why you miss the woods for the trees. And that is what has happened in the re-rating of power as a sector in India. We are in a power surplus place. Receivables, the ones which are the bankers, in the sense the lending companies like REC, PFC have been multi-baggers. I am very, very optimistic on Lupin. It is in my portfolio, and Dr. Reddy. I think these two can go spaces. And secondly, we know that these indices, the IT and pharma indices, are hitting new highs, which is evident that the leadership has changed from banks into both these sectors. Now is the time where most FIs are now underweight on banks to be in large cap banks.
Okay, Sanjiv sir, thank you so much for joining in with us this morning as well, giving us your views. Lupin and Dr. Reddy surely could go places, is what Sanjiv sir is saying. So keeping an eye out on that.